Skills Development Scotland are very proud to support Young Software Engineer of the Year. It's hugely exciting to see young people doing so well in this particular vocation where there's such a demand for their skills, and it's vitally important to Scotland's economic future. With up to 11,000 vacancies each year forecast in digital ICT, we're really keen to see it as a dynamic, exciting place for young people to find careers in, and we're delighted to see young talent coming through for this very purpose.
My name is Andrea Lutak. I'm from the University of Glasgow and my project is real-time robot camera control in ERLANG. So the core goal of my project was to investigate the suitability of ERLANG in the world of robotics, particularly in the implementation of robotic middleware software. During my third year, I did a group project. We worked with a half-humanoid robot, so I guess that would be the first experience that I had with robotics failing in unexpected ways. So during the project I developed two systems, one that used the robot operating system as a middleware to communicate between the camera and the face detection algorithm, and another middleware which I developed myself in ERLANG based on the same principles, and I tried to make these two systems mirror each other as much as possible while still highlighting their different features. ERLANG is a functional programming language and I'd never worked with functional programming before. I'd say that was probably the biggest challenge, just overcoming my desire to just go to my usual patterns instead of adapting to new ones. I got into technology mostly because my father also worked in that area, or I think he actually showed me how to do a small program as well, and that kind of got me interested in how the operating system or the computer works. It's easy to just think it's some magic box and you install software on it, which is also some magic, and it works, but it's nice to actually think about what's going on inside it. I draw a lot. I like drawing and painting. And I also like astronomy a lot, keeping up with kind of news of reaching Jupiter or reaching Saturn and beyond the solar system, and seeing kind of the progress that we've made over time is a really satisfying feeling of where humanity has gone. I'm also quite a bit of a perfectionist, I guess. My computer and everything is very neatly organized, everything in the folders I want, and I don't keep clutter around. I'd say I'm really focused on my work. I talked about my project a lot with my boyfriend, who's also a computer scientist, and he sometimes helped me with some of the experiments I made, and I had excellent support from my university. I'd meet with my supervisors every week. Currently I'm doing an internship with my supervisors at my university, working with robots again and a robot operating system. And after this, in September, I'm set to start a master's program at the Institute of Technology in Zurich. If I were to win the award, it would be a really amazing feeling of I've achieved something that's truly notable and people can really appreciate it.
My name is Stuart Whitehead. I studied at Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen, and my project is called A Platform for Internet-Connected Wireless Sensor Networks. The idea behind it has kind of been bubbling up for a little while. There's a conference I went to down in London called Mobile User Experience, and some of the talks there were focused around the Internet of Things. Going into it, I had such a broad outlook of what I was going to look into. I just kind of let the research guide me. It splits into three parts, my project. The first part was researching, synthesizing the whole industry's footprint. The second was a deliverable, which was to create a framework for the Internet of Things, which if you wanted to create your own application, you could take the framework that I've made, which helps to facilitate all of the communication behind the scenes. And the third component of mine was a demonstration application, because it's quite an abstract idea if it's just a framework with some code. I wanted to have something tangible to show people, and it helps them understand. The most important thing was bi-directional communication between all these little sensors and a web browser, a person, or an actuator. There's a technology called WebSockets that builds on top of fundamental internet protocols, and that allows bi-directional communication, so I built that into the framework. The main difficulty was piecing all these discrete components together into one cohesive system. It was designing that system was the hard part. It's got a lot of facets to this project. One very specific memory about a challenge that we were set by our Primary 7 teacher. We had to build a PowerPoint presentation with some hyperlinks. So I asked if I could start recording points. At this time I didn't really know any programming languages or macros. That was one of the first times I worked till midnight on an assignment for something. That was one of the earliest rewarding experiences of programming or technology that I remember. My motto would be work hard and be nice. I'm an easygoing guy. You can come out for a beer with me on Saturday night or a coffee on Sunday morning. Quite a motivated, eager, enthusiastic person. I like setting a target and going for it. Family, friends and the uni altogether have been really supportive. My fiance, she's quite patient because it took a lot of time out of my evenings to get stuck into this project. We're going to be moving to New Zealand. That's really just to satisfy our appetite to go exploring. If I was to win, it'd be validation that my hard work, even since primary school, through secondary school, and all the way through university as well, has been worth it.
Hi, my name's Graham Sutters. I went to the University of Strathclyde and my project is an automated trip planner. Last summer, me and a couple of my mates went to 6 different cities in 2 weeks. We kept getting to new cities and going, right, well, what do we do? We've only got 2 or 3 days here, where do we go? It was only when I got back and was trying to think of ideas for my project that I thought, that would have been quite handy. Something that would just tell us each city we go, right, want to see this, this and this. It's like a tour guide in your pocket, essentially. You give it a list of attractions in the city. It'll then fit as many as it can into the route for you, so you know you're doing as many things as you can. It also takes into account when places are open, so you don't turn up somewhere where it's shut like we did once or twice. It's built in Xamarin, so it's just, in theory it can run on iOS and Android. It's based off a vehicle routing problem algorithm. Try to narrow it down to one algorithm out of the thousands and hundreds and thousands that were kicking about was the main challenge, and then translate it into a modern language to get it to fit in with the app. Probably even before we got a computer in the house, I remember going around to my grandpa's house and he was into computers, and you'd play a game but you'd have to put a tape into a tape deck. It was like cassette tape, and then wait 20 minutes for the game to load. And it's like, now you look at a game and it's like you're watching a movie but you're controlling it. Not worrying about things that aren't within your control is something I try and live by. I don't know, I think I'm a fairly easygoing person. Don't take things too seriously unless I really have to. And obviously there's certain things that aren't within your control in a given problem that you've just got to get to the point of where you can make a difference. Yeah, I mean, all the unis, obviously they're the ones that they've taught me, and I'd like to think I was a relatively easy student to teach. Obviously my friends and family were there. Some of them were sceptical knowing where I was in the past, but yeah, they were all very sort of proud when I got there in the end. Obviously I just wanted to keep working in the environment I'm in there, become a better software developer. Obviously, I mean, I've been to uni for 4 years, but to be the best out of everyone in the country that's just graduated would be, I don't know, strange. Good.
My name is I'm from University of Aberdeen, and my project was focused on natural language generation in e-healthcare, abdominal cancer symptoms detection, monitoring and management. The idea for my project, it came after I saw a similar project that was done at the University of Aberdeen. We came up with the idea of making a natural language generation system which makes reports for the medics and for the patients, those who have had colorectal cancer or prostate cancer in the past. The project aims to bridge the communication gap between health professionals and patients. So the project is based on a model view controller architecture, and it also integrates the natural language generation pipeline into it. I think the biggest challenge was acquiring the knowledge for the project. We had a few focus groups with participants from the University of Aberdeen. We also had structured interviews with medical experts. It has people at its core, and it's also using natural language generation to help people. The first thing I remember about technology, I used to have a TV console and I would play video games with my dad on it. It felt like magic, like you can have the world in your hands and just model it. I still feel like I can do what I want. I feel like I'm in control of the software I create. I think I'm a very friendly person. I like to paint. I keep my desktop clean. I probably come off as stubborn sometimes, but I'm just very ambitious to do what I set my mind to do. I knew I wanted to work with my supervisor, Professor Judith Mastoff. She gave me the confidence to work on the project, and also I appreciate everything that my friends and family have done for me. I'm really grateful to my participants because without them I couldn't have completed my research. The core of the project, which is helping people, will be taken across to my next project, which will focus on convincing people to live more sustainably. It would be great to see that the project receives recognition because it's really helping people and it's really going to make a change. A software engineer is a person who tries to help others.
It needs to have a broad view and have an open mind.
Understanding the needs of a business or a client.
Software engineering is in essence problem solving.